Eddie Leverett stands as one of the most powerful voices in soul music history, the driving force behind the OJs, and timeless classics like Love Train, Backstabbers, and For the Love of Money. His voice didn't just entertain, it carried the weight of generations, echoing themes of struggle, dignity, and hope. For over 6 decades, he transformed music into emotional testimony. Yet behind that commanding presence lies a life marked not only by triumph, but by profound hardship, resilience, and an enduring spirit shaped long before fame ever called his name. Roots in hardship. Born into silence, Eddie Leverett was born on June 16, 1942, in Bessemer, a steel town where opportunity was scarce and survival demanded strength. His early life was defined by poverty, where empty cupboards and quiet nights replaced comfort. His father worked exhausting hours in steel mills, while his mother labored tirelessly cleaning homes. Despite hardship, faith filled their household. Even when food was scarce, love endured. His mother's sacrifices, giving him the last piece of bread, taught him a lifelong lesson. True love often hides its own pain to protect others from it. The church, where a voice was born. In a small Baptist church, Eddie discovered something powerful: his voice. Encouraged by his mother's gentle words, he sang not just with sound, but with soul. His voice carried beyond the walls, turning struggle into song. In those sacred moments, music became more than expression. It became purpose. The church was his first stage, where he realized that even in hardship, something beautiful could rise. Those early performances planted the seeds of greatness, shaping a voice that would one day resonate across the world. The Great Migration. A new beginning. At 6 years old, Eddie's family joined the Great Migration, moving north to Canton in search of a better life. The journey was uncertain, filled with long roads and fragile hope. Canton brought work, but not ease. Winters were harsh, and life remained difficult. Still, within their modest home, music became warmth. Family gatherings filled with song turned struggle into unity. His father's words, "When the world gets darker, our voices must shine brighter," became a guiding principle that would define Eddie's path. Finding purpose through music. By his teenage years, Eddie understood that singing was not just passion, it was survival. He began performing with friends, forming early groups that would evolve over time. Practicing in garages and singing through long nights, they chased something bigger than themselves. Music became his direction, a way out of hardship. With no guarantees of success, only determination fueled his journey. His voice, shaped by struggle, carried authenticity that could not be taught. Only lived the early struggles, chasing a dream. The road to success was far from easy. Eddie and his group performed in small venues, often traveling in unreliable cars, sleeping wherever they could. They sang for little money and even less recognition. Early recordings went unnoticed, and rejection became familiar. Yet Eddie refused to stop. Every setback strengthened his resolve. Alongside bandmates like Walter Williams, he held on to belief when everything else seemed uncertain. Persistence became their greatest asset. The rise of the OJs. By the mid-1960s, the group became known as the OJs, a name inspired by a supportive radio personality. Their breakthrough came in the 1970s, when their music finally reached a wider audience. Hits like Love Train turned them into global stars. Their sound, rooted in real-life experience, resonated deeply with listeners. Success came suddenly, transforming years of struggle into recognition. But with fame came new challenges, pressure, visibility, and expectations unlike anything they had known before. Fame and its hidden weight success did not bring peace. It brought intensity. Eddie was no longer just a singer, he became a symbol. The spotlight was relentless, and the demands were heavy. Though he had conquered poverty, fame introduced a different kind of struggle. The world saw strength, but behind the scenes, he carried emotional weight shaped by years of hardship. Still, he continued to perform, pouring his truth into every note, refusing to let success silence the authenticity that defined him. Personal tragedy, a father's pain. Behind the music lay unimaginable loss. Eddie endured the heartbreak of losing his sons, including Gerald Levert and Sean Levert. The grief of outliving one's children is a burden few can comprehend. It changed him deeply. Silence filled spaces once occupied by laughter. Yet even in sorrow, he remained standing. His pain became part of his voice, adding depth to every performance. What audiences heard was not just music. It was a man carrying both love and loss, endurance and legacy. Despite everything, Eddie Levert never stopped. Even in his 80s, he continues to perform, his voice still rich with emotion. Each note carries decades of experience, from childhood hunger to global acclaim and personal grief. His legacy is not just in records sold, but in lives touched. He represents resilience, the ability to endure, adapt, and keep moving forward. Through music, he turned suffering into something meaningful, offering hope to those who listen. Conclusion: a life that still sings. Eddie Levert's journey is more than a story of fame. It is a testament to endurance, faith, and the power of the human spirit. From the struggles of Bessemer to the world's greatest stages, he carried not just a voice, but a message. His life reminds us that true success lies not in wealth, but in resilience, love, and impact. His song is still being sung, not just on stage, but in every heart he has inspired.